For sure. First of all, hello everybody, and thank you for having me, Nick, and everybody in the chambers, all the hard work that's gone into this event. Because, today I'm here for one purpose, is I'm going to try my best to add as much value as I can to you guys to hopefully get as many of you guys onto social media and how to use that for your business, for yourself, and just for your life in general, because I believe my kind of journey started off from building relationships. Just like how I've been speaking to so many of you guys already today. Because over 8 years ago, I used to be super shy, couldn't speak to a woman. I had 8 friends. All I did was play Call of Duty, go to work in the bank. I was working in an investment bank. Come back home, eat something, play some more, go to bed, repeat. And that was my life for 8 years when I was working in the bank. And only the beginning of last year, while I was side hustling alongside my job, I was trying to build my business and trying to do something that I knew was my purpose, which is today, as a business and mindset coach, I serve people, especially founders and entrepreneurs, to really help them create healthy boundaries in their life. Because I think, for me, someone that has come from a place where I've been super shy, how did I be able to become this confident today and to be a speaker and to really add value to others? And what was it that drives my purpose today and every single day and why I do what I do? So really, I'm here to add value to you guys. And that's why I asked Nick and the team, can I make this interactive? Because I love giving a lot of love, but I need a lot of love back from you guys. So however I can best serve you guys today, that's why I'm here. I want to make sure that I answer all the questions, go through everything, all the struggles, the challenges that you're facing, and I hope that I can add some value to every single one of your souls today.
That's great. Thank you very much, Sadiq. Your bio describes you as an ambivert. Intrigues me. What's an ambivert?
So an ambivert is the mix between someone who's an introvert, who can tap into being an introvert and an extrovert. So that's what I am now. Because I still am at heart an introvert. So after today, you might not see me. I'm going to disappear for a while. I'm going to go and just relax and recharge my batteries. And that's why I like to speak and coach about the healthy boundaries aspect of our life. Like, how do we recharge and re-energize? So that's to answer your question. I've learned and mastered how to tap into being my introvert self, but also being here on stage and being here present with you guys and really doing something that is my purpose today. So that's hopefully I answered your question.
I can identify with that, so
cool.
Thank you very much.
By the way, Nick, what are you?
I'm an ambivert.
You're an ambivert.
I never knew I was until this precise moment.
Okay, lovely. Well, you learned something new already today.
I'm a bit of both, I'd always say, but that gives me a term which I
there you
look
go.
into. Yeah, thank you
Nice.
very much.
You're welcome.
Our first question for today, guys, and please add to this in our comments at the end. First question: what are the current top social media trends?
That's a good question. What are the current top social media trends? I would say video is the biggest. I'm sure a lot of you guys will agree, but video today is the biggest trend on whichever platform. And I'm hoping all of you guys have a phone today, right? I hope so. You're here for growing your business. So we all have a phone. A lot of us use social media. But the biggest trend that I'm seeing, and I've seen for the past over 7 years of my journey, is just being on video. And as I said, someone that used to be super shy like me hated photos and videos at one point. So just to add on to what the question is, I think video, like being on video and being comfortable with creating video content today, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, whichever platforms you want to use that serves your business, video is the biggest trend. Because how many of you guys go onto YouTube, for example, to learn something new? Or you're following a podcast on YouTube? See, sometimes. Many of you, right? How many of you guys prefer Instagram to like watch short form videos? I see 2 ladies in the back. What about LinkedIn? How many of you guys use LinkedIn? Almost everybody, right? And believe it or not, on LinkedIn, there's such a less amount of people that are using video right now. Like, I have so many connections on LinkedIn that I've built really good relationships with. And the one question I'm always asking them is, why don't you create video content? And there's a lot of, it goes deeper, right? There's a lot of reasons why, people fear the judgment of others, people are not confident, people, they just don't see the point of making videos. There is a point of making videos. If you don't make videos and people don't know you, then they're not going to buy from you, or they're not going to, your offer won't relate to them. Yes?
But do you not think that because there's YouTube and that's a video channel, people would assume that, if we want to put video content, we put it onto YouTube and not LinkedIn?
Not anymore. So it depends, right? Because on YouTube, think about when you use YouTube. When you're trying to learn something, or you're trying to find out something, or you're trying to create a video and you need tips
Or
and
Vimeo,
tricks,
whatever, yeah.
or Vimeo, right? Yeah. So you go on there because you're looking to learn, right? You want to go on YouTube because you're learning. But when you go on Instagram, are you going there to search because you want to learn something? Or when you go on LinkedIn, are you going there to learn something? Or are you going to build relationships and network and talk to people and become part of a community? Because that's what LinkedIn more is about. It's about building your relationships to become part of a community. And so to answer your question, like real basic, people go onto YouTube to search to learn something new or to find something specific to learn. But we go onto TikTok or Instagram or LinkedIn for other reasons, whether it's for business or personal. Just, hey, I want to see what my friends are doing. Oh, look at that nice picture of their dog. Look at that cat. Like sometimes we need that time to just chill out, right? We just go and scroll. How many of you guys, and don't lie to me, how many of you guys get stuck in the evening thumb scrolling until like 12, 1 a.m.? See, I knew it. Almost the whole room, right? One person's like, no, I have my evening routine.
Two of us now.
Two of you, love it, nice. Three, there you go, Paul at the back as well. I love that because I know exactly how you feel because when I started on TikTok in 2020, I got stuck. Like I would be on it and I would start at about 10 p.m. and I would end at like 2 a.m. I'm not kidding. I look at the time like, what the? I just scrolled and scrolled and scrolled because it's so like, oh, it's funny and then it's emotional and it's funny and and it just keeps you on there. And that's the whole point of social media platforms. The longer you stay, more money they make from ads and stuff like that. Yes, Paul.
You mentioned that we use video to get information. I must confess that I'm very old school. I'm a fan of reading text. And the reason for reading text is that I can skim read things. I can pick out where this is relevant. My difficulty with video is that I don't want to go beyond 3 minutes because I don't know where I'm going to get the key value. So my question is, what is the ideal length for a promotional video?
That is a very good question. And I would say short, the shorter the better, right? So I would say anything below a minute for an ad. Not even a minute, I would say less than 30 seconds for an ad, something specific. Because think about how many times you go onto YouTube and it happens to me all the time. You're on YouTube, you're watching something that you really took out your time to watch and consume, and this stupid ad comes up and it's there for 30 seconds. You can't even skip it if you don't have premium. And so to answer your question, Paul, the shorter and the more concise it is, the much more effective it is for you as a business, but also for consumers like us that we don't want to see ads. Like now there's like Netflix has two different formats, right? There's a premium, I think now, and a normal one. And if you don't want ads on certain movies, you have to pay premium for it. And there's certain other platforms, but yeah, for ads, the shorter the better. And also in general, just for my advice and my own kind of posting videos for over 7 years now, my videos never go above a minute. Every single video is a minute or less. Because the whole point of my video is add value, connect, build some kind of a relationship with someone watching me, and then hoping that they kind of convert or they come onto my website or they download the podcast or they come and find out what it is that I do. Curiosity, right? Just getting people to be curious. What's this guy doing? Why is he talking like this? What is it that he does? So it's about sparking curiosity in people, and so shorter the better, in my opinion.
Any other questions on videos?
Can I ask about targeting and how the sort of how you do that, the best way of actually getting to your customer with video? Because I sort of see that, as you say, with shorter videos, it's a process of people talking about the same thing a lot of times over. And what I do, which is finance, not the most exciting thing. It's not going to be right for everyone. So how what's the sort of key tips on how to do that?
That's a really good question. And the best way to find like your target audience is think about where do they hang around? Like for example, Paul is the best example, right? He's not online, meaning he's not really consuming videos or he's not really on social media. How do we find Paul? He's going to be here in these events, right? He's going to be in network events, at conferences. That's where Paul is. Where are your finance people? So on LinkedIn, for example, I can tell you, like, if you just search in the search bar finance, you would see thousands and thousands of people who are just in that industry. Now, the second question is, how do you provide them value? You're not selling anything to them. How do you provide value to them? Because let's be honest, we all don't like when people just come and try to sell you something straight away. And you get those silly like messages and DMs and private messages on LinkedIn and in-mails, the worst one. It's like people trying to sell you something, but they forget the first rule of sales is building a relationship with someone. people buy from people. They don't buy from just the ad. They don't buy from words. They buy because something you said, whether text, audio, or video, has resonated with them. And you feel some kind of emotion that, actually, this is really, I need this. They find you at the right time on the right platform and you're like, I need this right now. This is a bargain, and you buy it. Or, I'm curious about this. You go into their website, you go into their profile and figure out like what is it that they do. So the best way to do targeted ads is obviously Facebook ads and LinkedIn ads, but find your people. Like you can target it on those platforms. It's very simple when you start using the ad platforms, how to figure out who your people are. But just try to understand what I just said before that is, who are your ideal people that would buy your thing. Because, for example, a mum won't come and buy financial services unless she's specifically looking for financial advice or financial services for her business. But she may be on Instagram looking for some toys, some kids' toys to buy for her kids, right? And this is a simple example, but you need to know who your ideal customers are and who you can provide value to, if that makes sense.
So thank you. A link onto that. So for businesses specifically, what would you say are the best social media platforms for business owners that we've got here to focus on?
That is such a good question, Nick, and I'm actually going to spin it. You know why? Because most people I know will expect me to straight away say LinkedIn. Right? You probably had that. How many of you guys straight away thought LinkedIn? Like, what's this guy talking about? LinkedIn is where you're... But I'm going to spin it and say actually every single platform you should be on. Or as many as you can put your time and effort into, be on every single one. Let me tell you why. I've been on every single platform for over 7 years. Every platform that comes up, I'm just jumping on it. Because I just want to be one of the... I'm not that famous guy, right? I don't have millions of followers. You know, that's not me. So I just wanted that one break of what platform is going to make Sadiq's, you know, journey and bigger. Like, who's going to find this little TEDx Sadiq or business coach? Who's going to find me on what platform? The only way to find out is post on every single one. And then last year I had one video go viral on TikTok, 1.7 million views. Yeah, and then a lot of people came and found me. And so I used the attention to get them to follow me across all platforms. Hey, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, my podcast, LinkedIn, da, da, da. And so my answer to that is actually be on every platform. You know why? You don't know who is consuming content on that platform at the right time. As I said, timing is everything. There could be your ideal customer. I've had clients from TikTok, and everybody's like, oh, but TikTok's that renegade dancing thing, innit? No, it's not anymore. All the businesses are on there now. And I was having a conversation with someone earlier. The businesses are all on there now. They're paying for ads. They're finding their customers from there. You just need to make it more creative. And I love TikTok for the aspect of creativity, sparking creativity in your business. And so, yes, I would definitely recommend LinkedIn because, of course, more of the professional networks are there, more community-based, more serious, more professional people are there. But I would also say every single platform, do your best to start. And we'll go into that later on how you guys can start and what my best tips will be. But that's to answer your question in a nutshell.
Is Facebook relevant for business around here?
The old school Facebook, no. However, as you were talking about trends earlier, Facebook Reels is back on again. So there's a separate section on Facebook now called Facebook Reels, very similar to Instagram Reels. But because Facebook owns Instagram, they kind of just collaborated that, right? So it makes sense. But because the most attention is there now, the key thing I want everyone to take away is wherever people's attention is, go there. So right now, Facebook Reels is new. So everyone's like, oh, it's Facebook. I'm not on Facebook anymore. It doesn't work. No one sees my stuff. But Facebook Reels, people will see your stuff. You can post one video and go viral. And I did because I made a video about why everybody's like, a lot of people think like sheep and they all following the crowd and they don't they don't go and like be unique and be themselves and they don't be the shepherd. And I got a lot of negative like feedback from that video because people were like, leave those people on or whatnot. But that negativity drove virality on making that video go to 105,000 views. You know what I mean? So regardless of how you get the attention, good or bad, attention is attention. You can use it to realign it back into what it is that you want to do and how you serve your people, right?
Yeah. Anyone use Facebook Reels around the room for their business? Relevant, not relevant, or worth looking at?
Do you actually craft your different posts for different specific platforms, or is it kind of like using one content and just kind of goes with
I love this question. It's such a good question because, again, that's what I would have taught you guys how to do later on, which is you can make just one video and just reformat and repurpose that video for every platform. So basically, you're copy and pasting the same thing on every platform, but specific to that platform's feed. For example, on LinkedIn, you will post something in a square video format. If you're posting a video, you'll do a square. If you're doing a written piece on LinkedIn, you've obviously going to write text, right? But you can copy and paste that text into medium.com or any other written article type of platforms. But that's what I mean. You can repurpose content. Like for me, I make one 1 minute video, I said, right? The same video, I'm just cropping it up into 9:16, which is the long format, to square, to Twitter style, and I'm just copy and pasting it on every single platform and just adding value to people and being of service and whatever it is that I do to attract my customers and clients. So that was a good, really good question, man.
I hear what you do, and I'm on LinkedIn, and and where I can be, given the time restraints or cost restraints, how do you measure revenue generated with your 1.7 million followers?
Good question. I like this question. So what you would do is you'll have to break it down, right? So for example, with that specific example you're given about the 1.7 million people that I got on TikTok, how did I transfer them into LinkedIn or Instagram or other platforms? And how do I measure that?
The revenue generation.
The revenue.
Business generation.
And I'm going to break this into two pieces, right? The first piece is, guess what? Most of the time when you get a viral piece of video, people don't make money from it, right? That's the first thing. Like, this is why I always try to coach people, like, the numbers and the metrics on your social media actually mean nothing, which is why when I got that 1.7 million views, I was excited and happy for a day. The adrenaline got to me and the dopamine hit me, but then the next day it's like, well, I've got no clients from this. I made no money from this. So like for the second part of the question, how do you actually measure if you're making money or not? It's by being consistent on every platform, measuring the growth of followers, impressions. But the biggest thing, in my opinion, is engagement. If you have more engagement and comments, people liking your thing, then you give them more of what they like. So you create content around what they like. This is the part that takes time, because to build the relationship on those people that like what you've had to share, they will eventually convert to your clients or your customers or the people that consume and buy your stuff. So I hope that was a little kind of nutshell.
But it doesn't, because you can effectively almost employ somebody to do that full time.
Yeah.
And therefore there is a gross cost. We can do it yourself, and there is a gross cost. And therefore, if that's the case, am I better employing somebody to work social media,
Yep,
or to network at the LCCI and other events to achieve perhaps the same outcomes?
I would definitely go with the first one. Employ someone that knows what they're doing about the place that you're going in, right?
The answer is definitely networking.
It's both. It's both.
Yeah.
I mean, because for me, for example, I love both. This is why I do events and speaking gigs and why I go to other networking events, because nothing beats this human interaction. I love speaking. Why? Because you guys can all feel my energy today, and you're only going to go away with one thing. You're going to forget everything that Sadiq said, but you're just going to remember how I made you feel about a specific thing around social media, and Sadiq will be in your head. And something along the lines of hopefully something I shared with you will stick with you, and everything else you'll forget. And that's life. So like all I care about the most is providing the most amount of value, but being everywhere is what I mean. Be offline and online, but online has more scope. In this room, there's about how many people? About 40 people right now, 40, 50 people. But I can go into a LinkedIn group or a Facebook group right now with 100,000 people in it. Add value to them, build relationships. A month from now, 10 of them become your new customers or clients because you served them and you gave them value and you cared about them. And they see that you're human and that you're a good person and what you're doing is good for the world, and so they want to support you. So my answer will be both. I hope that helps. No? All right, we'll go deeper later on.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, do you make any, many of us are business to business,
Yeah.
and others are business to consumer. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, for sure. So I think for that specific question, really good. Like LinkedIn will obviously work best for that, right? But also, it's like coming back to what I said earlier, it's about know where your people are. For example, on LinkedIn, you could do both. You could do B2B, you can serve and find your B2B customers there and clients. You can also find your B2C customers there as well. But it all comes down to the same thing, is adding value, building relationships, and knowing where your people are. If you know most of your business comes from LinkedIn, then you don't need to spend your time on Facebook and everything else. It's a waste of time. Put all your attention into that one place. Hire someone, a VA or someone that knows what they're doing to help you generate leads from LinkedIn, because that's where your clients for B2B would be, but also B2C. But that's why B2C is actually across all platforms. Like I said, a TikTok video or Instagram Reels or Facebook Reels can suddenly come and find your customers, because somebody at the right time might be watching your finance video or your inspirational video or your life coaching business and suddenly find you and be like, oh wow, I want to talk to this person. Why? Because of how you made them feel.
So B2C is across all platforms.
Yeah.
B2B, you think,
M-
is more certain platforms? Is that
Mostly LinkedIn, I would say.
Mostly.
Yeah, B2B is best mostly on LinkedIn, just because of the services that LinkedIn has and also the premium version of LinkedIn, where they allow you to target where your people are. So you can show ads or you can find your correct group of people, your avatars as they call it, find those people and add value to them and hoping that eventually over time they'll convert to your clients. So hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes.
Are there any reporting tools on LinkedIn so you can see how many people are then engaged, oh, well, any platform actually, so you can see how many people are engaging with your content and then becoming a customer?
Yeah, so the actual LinkedIn, the free version itself has like the impressions and the engagement rates, and if you go into the analytics section, I think it's in settings and analytics, you can actually see like your customers or the growth of either engagement, followers, or just people that are not interested in your stuff, and also like what country they're kind of your content's being seen in most. And then if you have the premium version of LinkedIn, if you have LinkedIn Premium, then you can go much deeper into like real analytics and insights, which is why myself, but also most businesses always advise you to get the premium version of LinkedIn, because it's just better long term for your business to track. Because as a business you need to track and see where the growth is happening and put your attention and time into creating content that people want to see. So I would say for yourself, like LinkedIn Premium is where you can see that. But the same with Instagram and the same with every platform has an analytics section where you can literally see your growth. And then you can give people more of what they want. And then over time, consistency is the key, and creating the content, of course. And over time, those relationships will turn into customers and clients.
And then when people sign up with you, do you ask them where they came from so you can then track?
You can even sometimes know. You can even sometimes know how they came, or by you naturally just having that conversation with them, like you can tell them. Oh, but I always ask. Like when someone adds me on LinkedIn, I send them a voice note, which I'll come on to later. Voice notes has been really effective for me because nobody sends voice notes to a stranger, especially well, number one, they don't send me videos, they don't send voice notes, but they just always text, right? Suddenly Sadiq comes along and sends a voice note. How many of you guys love seeing that play button? You don't know what they said, what's in that, but you're so curious to press play because you don't know what the person said, right? And so I believe that's why I built really good connection with people on LinkedIn, because I send them a voice note, they come back and they're like, oh my God, you're the first person to send me a voice note, and it's so nice and warm, and I can feel your passion and your soul, and so that's what makes it personalized. But yeah, to answer your question, it's through the conversation. Just ask them, hey, I'm just curious, by the way, how did you find me, or how did you come across me, or did someone send you to me, or you can just have that conversation with them and they'll tell you. Cool. We've got loads of questions. We're Q&A already.
No, go for it. This is the time.
So sorry, it's kind of going back to the video idea, and because obviously with Reels and TikTok, like that is definitely kind of the most beneficial and influential media at the moment. But I was just wondering, I know that you said that quite often you repurpose the same content, the same video for all the different platforms. I think something we both work in a law firm and we run the social media for that firm, and I think we haven't really experimented with doing video via LinkedIn, and I think it's partly because, as you said, I think you touched upon, there are different people going to the different sorts of social media, but I think they also go for different reasons. And so I think, what would you advise in terms of keeping ideas for video content fresh? For example, with Instagram, I think people more go on there for aesthetic purposes, we can draw in people that way, whereas with LinkedIn, how do you kind of suggest that we create video content when people go to LinkedIn usually for something more factual, something more intellectual, and how do you suggest making video content that's actually interesting instead of people just kind of talking to the camera about factual information or about the business? I don't know if that's, sorry, that was quite a convoluted.
No, I've got it.
It's a great question. So my next question was going to say about engaging copy and content.
Yeah.
So could you try and answer both for us, please?
100%. So to answer, what was your name?
Ariane.
Ariane. Yeah. So to answer your question, Ariane, are you in charge of the actual company social media?
Yeah.
Okay, so for that, I'm going to give you a little sneaky hack. There's a website called askthepublic.com. If you go on that website and the search bar comes up and you just type in for example, the industry you're in, right? So just type in law questions, or just ask a question like, what would people ask that law firm, right? What are people struggling with? Or you can just type in law, search, and then you'll get like these big circle thingies that pop up, and they all have questions that people in the world right now are asking live to Google. So that is the answer to finding fresh content every single week. Just go into Answer the Public, just type in law or whatever else you want to kind of, whatever the topic is, right? Just type it in there and you'll get all these ideas of like content. The second piece, for what type of content in terms of video, it doesn't have to be someone speaking, right? It could be behind the scenes, or it could be it can be, if you have a video editor, someone that creates just visually pleasing aesthetic videos for people that consume law content, right? It would be preferable to have someone that can speak about the topics, because people, for example, if you made a video about like providing value to someone around law and what's the new trends of the world, or what are the companies in law struggling with right now, or just any kind of tips and tricks or value-based content around law, then people will build a relationship with Ariane and they'll be like, oh, actually, I wonder where she works, I wonder what she does, she may be able to help our company, she may be able to give us law tips, she may know good lawyers, and you know what I mean? So it's knowing what type of content you can craft, but when it's video, it's just making it very aesthetically pleasing for the platform like LinkedIn. It doesn't have to be you, as I said, but you've got to find creative ways to make video content, if that makes sense. So it depends on what kind of a budget you guys have and that kind of stuff, but I would honestly just recommend, like, if your team or yourselves make videos adding value to the people that you're already serving. So what type of customers and clients is that law firm like actually targeting? What are their biggest challenges and pain points and struggles? And then making content around giving them solutions to that for free, just adding value and answering their questions. And they're going to get value from that and be like, hey, Ariane, we really like that video you made about this topic. Could you help us? We need support with this. Boom, you're done. You can build on that relationship and that becomes a client. And you never know if it can be a big client, a little one, but every client's a client, every customer's a customer. It's like you add value to the people who are out there who need your support. And if you have a good company ethos, then you want to be of service to others and really provide that best service, right? So I hope that answered your question. You're welcome.
Any other questions around engaging content, guys? Engaging copy, video, non-video related?
So just to tap on the engaging copy bit, Nick, copywriting obviously has become a really big thing, right? How many of you guys have heard of ChatGPT recently? The big AI tool, right? So it's a tool, basically, for those of you guys who don't know, it's an artificial intelligence tool that you can ask any question to, and it answers you faster than a human can. And you can literally tell it to write you a book, and it will do it for you in like 30 seconds. Write me a there's a guy on YouTube that just write me a children's book around X, Y, and Z, and it just wrote him a children's book, and he started making thousands from selling this children's book that he didn't even write, the artificial intelligence wrote, but he put it on Amazon and is selling every single day. So it's a tool that you can ask questions, but the reason why I mentioned that is because it's kind of taking over like copywriters' roles. So when I post content, for example, on social media, you have the text, right? And a lot of you guys were talking about articles. I'm going to actually ask you guys, what makes an article an effective article, something that you got value from? Anyone? Yes.
One that appeals to your target listener.
100%. Love that. So one that appeals to your target listener. So if it's valuable to that target listener, they're going to keep coming back and sign up to that newsletter or sign up to the article, right? Because they want more. You're feeding this person valuable information that they want. But copywriting is like, the way I see it is just text that's shown in a way for your ideal target people. For example, I love emojis. I don't know how many of you guys are emoji people. I'm super like just an emoji and a GIF person, so I'm always sending these little funny GIFs and emojis. Maybe because it's the generation I'm in, but I don't know. But for me, it doesn't matter. That's the way Sadiq communicates. Some people don't like it, and they're like, you add too many like emojis and it's annoying. Cool, then you're not my people, right? If they say, actually, the emojis add so much more depth to your text, Sadiq, then I'm like, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. The point I'm coming at is I create copy in a way that Sadiq can understand it in such a monkey language, like just so simple that anybody on any platform can read it and can understand what I'm trying to say. So because I'm such a fun, creative person, I try to make my copy fun and creative with the emojis and stuff. But it doesn't mean everybody needs to do it like that. You just got to find your style of copy and keep it engaging for your type of customers and clients and the audience. For me, it works best when you actually do add in the emojis, because in my opinion, text everybody in the world reads text different. Ariane reads the text different to how Sadiq reads the text, to how Nick reads the text, to how Paul reads text. We all read the same text. All of us have a different perspective and a different mindset around it. And so adding a few emojis to the text now suddenly adds, to some of us, a little bit more emotion to the text. To some it doesn't. They're just like, what does that emoji even mean? And then to others, it's like, I don't even like emojis. Scrap, delete, block. And that's how we all are. So this is what I was coming on about earlier about the audios and the video. You just got to find what's attractive to your people and give them more of that. But in terms of the copywriting, make it engaging, make it fun, make it creative is the biggest word. Just be creative in whatever space you're in, and your people will find value from that.
Any other questions, Sadiq, on that? No? My question is on online audience.
Yeah.
How does one manage an online audience? A bit different, but I've got 2,500 contacts on LinkedIn. LinkedIn for me isn't utilised well at all. I don't engage with people, but I know it's a huge audience that I should be engaged with. So for business owners around the room, what would be your tips to actually managing properly an online audience?
That's a really good question, Nick. I would say, firstly, you have to be engaging on it.
Yeah.
Like if you don't engage with people, you can have 5,000 people following you or networks, but if you're not adding any value to them, they just followed you at one event and they forgot about you. And I was speaking to Paul earlier in the back, and we were just saying how it's so important to build relationships. My whole journey has been just really, really great because I've just been building relationships with people, and like without me even realizing, people are recommending people or clients or new events that I can go speak at, right, and introducing me to the right people. So the first thing is, I would say, to manage the people you already have, is first of all go into your contacts and see all these people. Do you know them? So the first step I'll actually go through is actually clearing out the people I have that I don't know, that I don't speak to, because they're just people there wasting the space of new people that could come into your network. So the first thing is do a social media detox. Get rid of people that are negative, that you don't know, that you connected and you've never had a conversation with them. If you remember them, start a conversation with them. Message them and start that conversation. If you don't, then I would say the second thing would be to obviously start engaging with the people that you do know. Ask them how are they. Ask them how their 2023 is going. You just start a conversation. Because if you are using social media without starting conversations every single day, in the time that you have, I know a lot of us are busy. I get it. We're all very busy. We're hustling on our business, at work, trying to make the most out of the time that we have in the day. And we're like, by the end of the day, it's like, oh, Sadiq wants me to go and network with people. Forget that. I just had a whole day of networking with my clients and my customers and the people that have drained me. I'm just tired. I want to go to sleep. So instead of that, this is why I coach people around having the boundaries around your life and being a student of your calendar. So knowing, and for you, for example, Nick, I would say, look at your calendar for the week. Where are your your blank spots? I'd be like, Nick, you've got like an hour here which you're just like wasting on YouTube or something. You're just doing like, it's just you're wasting your time. In that 1 hour, go into LinkedIn, ask a couple of people how their 2023 is going, or if you can, like, how's things, how's the kids, if you know them personally, start that relationship again. If you don't know the people, but you've kind of remember you met them at an event or somewhere, spark a conversation. Just ask them, hey, how's things going with you? What's your 2023 looking like? Are you, do you need any help with anything? Is there anyone I can introduce you to? Like simple things like that. For me, it's never about taking from everybody. I'm always trying to think from a mindset of how can I add value and be of service to others? That's it. Because I promise you guys, every relationship that you build, you're just literally one person away from changing your life, your business's life. One contact can introduce you to another one that could potentially change your life. And the best example I can give you guys is like in the beginning of December, I network on LinkedIn a lot. Like I communicate with people, I comment, I engage, and they come and do the same with me. So a little bit quickly to touch on what Nick was saying, if you don't engage with others, don't expect people to come and engage with you. So if you don't comment on people's things, if you don't like it, if you don't show them some kind of appreciation for the hard work of that amazing video they made for Law and they got 1 like, imagine you come along and you just, you support them and you leave a really nice comment, hey, well done with this amazing video, really informative, we loved it. Then suddenly your attention goes to that 1 comment, right? You suddenly feel like, well, 1 person got value from it. So it's about like really finding that time and place to be of service and add value to people. But again, I met 1 contact in the beginning of December, Never met the guy in my life. We just connected. I always jump on a call with people for 30 minutes just to get to know them and how they are and stuff like that. Had a call with the next week, and then from our first call onwards, we called it like our brotherhood connection. Like we just had this instant brother. I just felt like he's my older brother. He's 5 years older than me, and I just felt like this guy's my older brother. He's so aligned with what I do, my purpose, what I want to do in the world, how I want to make a positive impact, how I want to change the world, how I want to travel, and all the things. He aligned with it all. And he's like, Sadiq and Amin, his name is Amin. He's like, Sadiq, we need to do something, bro. Like, we need to do something because we're so aligned. I said, what do you want to do? I don't know. Like, give me some ideas. He said, let's start a podcast. And because I had podcasting experience before, it took us 2 weeks and we started our own podcast. We were like 2 weeks of just meeting a stranger, having the instant bond, starting our podcast. And now we have some big, like, dreams and vision for this podcast. We're going to make it big. We're going to have studio, and like we're already put our business canvas plan together, and we know exactly how we're going to build it and what we need to do. But because now there's two of us and our networks, because he's got thousands of people he knows and I got thousands of people I know, now we can build this podcast to add value to the people that we want to serve. And through that, we will eventually get customers, clients, people that really respect us for what we do. So that's just one example of how networking and building those relationships, man, can really change your life. Like overnight, it can bring you someone in your life that can really be like, wow, if I never met this person at the time of my life, if I didn't send that one message, then I'll still be stuck where I am, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Any questions, guys, or comments on engagement and audience management? I've got one more question for Sadiq, then it's an open forum, so please get your questions ready. What are your top tips for improving brand awareness, particularly for business owners and small companies?
Top tips for improving brand awareness. That's a very good question. It's going to come back to what I said earlier. Is try your best to be on every single platform. Otherwise, pick the platform that your potential clients are on, your customers, and just go all in there. Whether you hire someone that does it for you because you don't have the right skill sets for it, or you learn the skill sets, because the thing is, I never knew everything about social media and I still don't. Right? I'm not perfect. I don't have all the answers. But what I coach people on every single day is I'm a messy action taker. Like I just messily take action. I just try things and dabble around everywhere until I find something that works, and I'm like, oh, this works. Let's put more time and effort into this now. And so my recommendation would be, of course, number one, to try your best to be on every single platform, create your business profile on every single platform, and then create content. Specifically, try your best for video, but if not, it can still be audio or written word. But the key is about consistency. It's about consistently taking action on creating content for the people that you want to serve, for your future dream clients that are out there looking for your company, your service, your product right now. Because believe it or not, there are people out there that need your service. This is how I see what I do, right? I know it's a bit different because I'm a coach and speaker, but it's the same if I was to take that into a business, an actual company. For example, our podcast now is like a company. How do I know who is going to come and find us and listen to us and watch us? It's because we are just going to be ourselves. We are just going to share what we know, not what we don't know. And our only goal is we want to empower and uplift others. However we can do that, this is our form of doing it. So whether it's podcasting or whether it's on LinkedIn or Instagram or TikTok, know where your people are, consistently create content to those people. And the key is just don't stop, don't give up. Because if I just stopped last year, then I wouldn't have had that viral video. And people always say to me, Sadiq, how do you, I make content every day, right? How, Sadiq, you're so busy, you run you do all of this. How do you make video every single day? I'm like, come on, man, you just got to be a bit smart. You don't make it every single day, do you? You pick one day out of your week, for me, Saturday, and you just make all your content for 2, 3, 4 hours, however long it takes you. You can be 1 hour for one piece of content every single day to go out. Batch produce all your content, have it edited and ready. You can use scheduling platforms that can schedule your posts to go out on these platforms automatically. Or like me, you can actually go onto every single platform every day because you want to connect with the people that you serve and just post what it is that you post because everything's ready. The copy's ready, the video's ready, and you're just posting and then you get off because you have boundaries. You don't live on the platform and get consumed by it. You post, provide value, you get off, you live your life, you come back later, connect with people, engage, comment, reply to everybody. I just want everyone to realize it's very simple. It's just we overcomplicate things as humans, right? the analysis paralysis, everything. But it's like make all your content, schedule it for the week, and it just posts every single day. And then it's your job is to find that half an hour to an hour every day to go and engage with these people, to add value and to connect with them and jump on calls if you can. And it's to build those relationships that will lead you to big success, I promise you. But it's the consistency, it's the messy action, and it's the fact that you have to know which platforms that your people are on, and then just keep providing value. And then every now and then ask them, hey, by the way, if you guys need support with this is what we do. We can help you with this, we can help you with that. So it's always about giving more value, and every now and then asking, hey, we need your support, we need your love. Do you know anybody that can help us with this? And that's the other factor, right, Nick? People just are very afraid to ask for help. And like I said earlier, I'm not perfect and I don't have all the answers. And I go to coaches and mentors and ask for help for my own business. Because I've learned to just cut my ego to be like, I don't know everything. And I need support, I need help. Why can't we all just help each other? Right, like this is my thing every day. Like, why can't we just all help each other? We all in business, how do we just help each other to make money so we can all grow what we are truly passionate about, right? But it's about finding the people that you resonate with, that you align with, and that you know have those similar values and principles of life as well. So hope that was valuable, man.
No, it was. Thank you very much indeed. Guys, this is questions. Liz, and what I was going to say, when we ask questions now, would you mind just introducing who you are and what your company is? There's a real great mix around the room today, so it'll just be great to get a feel for who's here. Liz.
Yeah, Liz Henson, London Chamber of Commerce. Thanks, that was really great, really insightful. I just wanted to know what you thought of Twitter, actually, and what role that should play in this social media, and also how you think that might evolve with its change of ownership.
Nice to meet you. Are you asking specifically because the London Chambers is on Twitter? Yeah. The thing is, because I
it's about all the other channels we should be on.
yeah, because I know obviously when I've met Chelsea from the Chambers earlier on last year, we had that conversation. I was like, how comes you're only on Twitter and LinkedIn? The first question I had was, why aren't you like on these other platforms? Because I never heard of the Chambers, to be honest with you, before like 2 years ago. I never heard of who they were. Someone introduced me to this business networks of the London Chambers, and I was like, what's that? I always thought it's about politics and all this other like kind of a different field. So the first question I had was, why? How comes you're not everywhere? Because if I found you guys on LinkedIn or on not on LinkedIn, on Instagram or on TikTok, for example, then I would have been like, why comes I don't know about these people? I can introduce so many people to come to this place right now to sign up to become members, and everybody can network and help each other grow their businesses. But I never heard of it ever since like 2 years ago, right? So my kind of advice around Twitter is Twitter only now works better if you are actually engaging with people yourself. Meaning if you're not on there every single day actively building relationships, and just posting on Twitter doesn't really get you seen anymore. The reach has died, which is why I'm so much about Facebook Reels and TikTok. Where are people going? They're all on TikTok. So the question to ask yourself is not, we're not going to make TikTok. It's how can we make our content relevant to TikTok? How can we find people that want to find the London Chambers of Commerce on TikTok? It could be just hiring someone you're hiring a young person that's making TikTok content around the events that are happening right now here. There's a reason why my phone's over here recording this whole thing, because for the rest of the week now, you're just going to see little clips of this whole talk. Me sharing little valuable tips, and this is all going to go on my LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. And someone's going to see it, they might see the logo at the top, and like, oh, I wonder where he was speaking at. And then they may message me, hey Sadiq, where was that event? Oh, here's the link, go and sign up to London Chambers of Commerce. They have really cool events, you can sign up for free, then you can get a membership, and that can kind of educate them. But you see, like for Twitter, if the people that are in charge of your social media are not engaging with businesses and companies and your ideal people, then people won't really you won't really grow, to be honest with you. It's better for you to really look into hiring someone or helping the social media person focus on TikTok, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, and try to make those video formats in a way that's still professional and still clean and like good for your business. And that's how you can make it grow. Top of my head, I got so many ideas. I could just be walking around here just making videos of just a day in the life of working in London commerce. And somebody will see that on TikTok, be like, oh wow, I never heard of that company before. Go to the website, find the memberships. Oh wow, they have business networking sessions. I didn't know about this. Boom, you got yourself a potential new member, right? So I hope that helps, Liz.
Definitely helps. Every member counts.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Paul.
Paul Brannigan, a business coach, secrets of success. Asking for a friend. LinkedIn, premium service. where is the definitive guide to getting started and why?
Good question, Paul. I like it. That is a challenging question as well, right? No, it's honestly, if you have a LinkedIn profile, you can go into LinkedIn. I think it's in the top left-hand corner. If you go into your settings, and at the bottom of the settings, there's a little section that says premium. You can literally just click on premium, and the first thing is find out if it's actually for you. I wouldn't recommend just jumping straight into premium unless you already have a strategic plan in place of these are the types of people, these are my criteria, these are the people I want to target. So first of all, knowing that is premium going to work for you? My advice, don't buy it straight away. First, build your free LinkedIn profile. Provide value to people on that, build that, find new connections on that, build relationships doing that. And slowly but surely, then you can look into the premium where you can look at the analytics, the growth, there's so much more like the sales navigator aspect of it, which is the best part for businesses. So just to quickly touch on the sales navigator, that's where you can really go and search for, I'm looking for a financial advisor that lives in London that's between the age of 13 and, sorry, not 30. That's within the first of 30 and 45. And then you can literally search for that exact person. But you can't do that with that. You can only do that on premium. You can't do that on the free LinkedIn. So on the free LinkedIn, you can search in the top bar as much as you can, try to like identify those people. But with Navigator, because you're paying for more, the service is there of they let you go and find thousands of people. I'm not kidding you. There's like literally thousands of people that will come up with your ideal people. Then it's about how do I connect with these people? Do I just sell them something straight away? How do I find a way to build a relationship and add value to them? And then it's starting that journey, and that's where the strategic plan will come in place. But I hope that answered your question, Paul.
Thank you. Another question.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I run web development agency. So I just wondered, because most of our content is created around on the LinkedIn and on the Instagram around sort of web development, and to just give the value to our potential clients. But how important is actually to build your own brand, kind of personal brand? So in terms of like, because I'm aware that it's quite important also that people might go to Instagram and just find myself as a kind of just a person. And just how important is actually to build your own brand?
So important. If anything, I would say, in my own kind of opinion and journey and my experience, building the personal brand is more powerful than the business brand. And I give you such a simple example, you'll click with all of you. How many of you guys know of Elon Musk, right? Obviously, almost everybody. But if you look at the amount of followers he has on Instagram or Twitter, for example, him as a person, Elon Musk, how many people follow him, and how many people follow SpaceX, his company, or Tesla, his profile, people connect with him more. They all follow in him. Yes, he's built these companies, but they know him. That just tells you the importance of personal brand. If people don't know, like, and trust you as an individual, they're not really going to go and engage in your business stuff. Right? So for me, as a coach and speaker, if I don't make content every day with this energy, with these little clips from me talking, from relationships I'm building, from behind the scenes, from podcasts, from whatever, if I don't show people who I am, and I can't really authentically be myself online, why would someone want to hire me as their coach or as a speaker for their event, right? They have to be able to feel me from the video to be like, this guy's good, man. He's confident. He's got that passion and drive. We want to meet him, or we want to have a chat with him to see, is he really like that, or is it just his videos? Because obviously you would also meet a lot of people who are, their personal brand is very different to who they are really in real life. And that obviously was a big transformation of my own journey too, because I grew along the journey of being super shy, the guy that couldn't speak to women and that was afraid of judgment of others, to today not caring about what people think about me and just living my life authentically me. I promise you, if you ever meet me outside of here, I'm the same guy. I always just try to be myself. And I was talking to Paul earlier as well, and I keep referring Paul, but we had a long chat earlier. And I told Paul, I said, Paul, what is the point of constantly trying to live my life with a facade, pretending I'm someone I'm not really online? Because it's so easy to be someone that you're not online, because it's the highlights and the reels of your life. But it's like, what if you can just be yourself and show the vulnerabilities and the authenticity and the raw and the realness about who you really are? People connect with you and who you really are. So the importance of a personal brand is like, in my opinion, that should be everybody's first priority. Is like, how do I get me to be known more, and what style can I share that form of value in? Yes.
Richard Hall, B2B Marketing agency. I just want to follow up on that point. I mean, if you're dealing with it's fair enough if it's a one-man band or a small company, two to five persons. But if you're a 300-person business, voice, the title of the
Yeah.
Is the company voice particular persons, or do you create? How do you handle that?
So it's like, so that's a really good question.
Yeah.
It's you divide it up into how I shared the Elon Musk thing. So yes, the personal brand aspect is important because the founder of the company is what people want to kind of, that's the person they want to learn from or know why they started the company, is the ethos and the values and principles in alignment with them. And the second aspect is the actual company voice. The company voice and the personal brand is both aligned. But what I was trying to say earlier is it's the person that we connect with, but the company's voice is important too. That's why you need to have a company page. Because when someone comes across Richard, how do they, from Richard, get aligned to their company, what you offer, your digital marketing company? They're not going to, most likely, they won't find the company first, they'll find you. And then they'll click on your website to find your company.
So you have to focus on building the
Both.
MD is.
Yeah.
Create a brand around the person.
I would say both is important for sure, because again, if you think about it logically, we all do naturally like go and surround ourselves with the person, and then we find out, oh, they have a digital marketing company. Let me follow that page and see what they're sharing over there. The company page though, you're sharing a different style of content. You're not always really sharing you over there. You're sharing you on your personal side, and the company side, you're sharing value to your potential clients. So you go onto that website I said earlier about Ask the Public and find out what's the biggest challenge and pain point your potential clients are having right now. And then on the company page, you're sharing valuable content pieces, video, audio, or written, around how you can attract those people by giving them value. Oh, if you're struggling with this specific thing, here are our top 5 tips this week how to overcome the struggles of if you can't find clients in your law firm right now. These are where all the law firm clients are hanging around these days. And then just like boom, 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 you give the 5 tips, you've given someone value to be like, oh, I'm going to follow this page because they give really good insights. And that's how it works. So it's a really good question, and I love the way you said it, because you're right. This was all about the company voice. The company voice and the personal brand is very aligned, but if you're just going to focus on your company, then the content has to be value-based for the people that you're trying to attract. So, and in my opinion, you should really try focus on video, because that is just what gets more eyeballs on it right now. So, hope that makes sense, Richard.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Time flies. We've got time for 2 questions, guys, because we must make time for networking. Over to you.
Hi, I'm Matt Edwards. I'm Education and Skills Partnership. So one of the issues we've got is we do training, upskilling nationally, but we have certain things that are location led. So like free training for specifics in London, free training specifics in, I know, Coast Capital Region. How do we go about making that clear on something like LinkedIn without really upsetting everybody else? Like, we can give free stuff at certain places, but then we can't elsewhere.
That's a really good question, and I think for that specific question, it's more about ads. Meaning like that's where the budget comes in about, do you have a budget for ads? Because then you can specifically target only the people that you want to see that stuff. You know what I mean? If you don't want everyone to see your stuff and it upset people like you said, then the ads can, if you go and like do research or just hire someone that, if you have a budget, hire someone that knows about the ads and just get them, hey, we just want to promote this one event, it's in this location, we want everybody around a 5 miles, 10 mile radius around that event, around that area to see this post and to sign up to the event. And then that's how you can only get those people that live around here with exactly how you said it, see that ad. And then obviously then it's a numbers game around how many people will actually see it, sign up, register. If it's too salesy, then they're going to be like, oh, this looks like another scam or something. So it's just about really doing the ads in a way that's very effective around the area or the areas that you're saying that you want to promote that specific thing.
Would Eventbrite help with that kind of?
Yes. So yeah, also just really good. Yeah, even just.
I mean, it's not events. It's literally just government paid training. Bosh. But it's available in certain areas, but not in others. So it's.
Yeah, you can just post it on Eventbrite free. You can put it on Eventbrite for free. You can sign up to Meetup. I think it's meetup.com, and you can just. Those kind of websites are for specific trainings, and your people will find you because they're over there looking for events every single day. So if someone's searching government type events, they'll find it whether through your social media platforms, if you're posting something about it and using the right hashtags. I forgot to mention about the hashtags because the hashtag is the other way about locations. So somebody, for example, like me, in the kind of millennial age, go into Instagram, search something, and I'm looking for something specific in Mayfair around this area, like a restaurant or a bar or something, and I'm specifically looking in that area, every hashtag that has the word Mayfair in it will come up, and I'll only see that. So suddenly, from the millions of people's hashtags about food and dogs and cats, I'm only seeing Mayfair things in London around that area. So hashtags, also having hashtags. So like I think it was Liz mentioned earlier about the Twitter. Even on Twitter, when you post something, have a hashtag around not just London Chambers, but this area, for example, bank, or having the area location there. So if someone finds that location, they search anything around bank, this will come up. They'll be like, oh, what's this? And they'll click it. So hope that helps.
All right, thank you. Great, guys. Last questions. We can network. Any takers?
We got Ariane again.
So does anyone else want to ask a question? Because I have already gone. It's kind of like a technical question. I don't know if it's a silly question because I know there are already analytics on all these sites that kind of suggest the best times to post that will produce the most engagement. But quite often, I don't know how much of a difference that really makes. Have you found personally that different sites have different best times for engagement? And have you found that it is actually beneficial or detrimental if you post outside of those times? Because for example, when we're doing stuff for ourselves, I feel like on our personal accounts we'll post for ourselves maybe in the evening, but if we're doing work-related content, it will be during the day. And I would say that it just varies all the time. I don't think there's any like one time for any platform, as far as I've found, that is consistent in terms of the amount of engagement that it kind of provokes. So I was just wondering what your personal experience was with that.
That's a really good question, and I'm actually going to answer it in a way that's like both, like meaning, I find personally, certain platforms do work better when you post at specific times. For example, LinkedIn, it's better to post in LinkedIn in the mornings when people are traveling to work and they're on their phone looking for things or searching through articles, whatever, than in the evening when they don't really go on LinkedIn. They're on Instagram or they're on TikTok, like looking at cat videos or whatever, because they're like it's relaxed time, right? So I always think to myself, what do I do? Right, so think to yourself, like if you're working, whatever company or business that you have right now, what is it that you do if you're a person that uses social media? Most of us, when we're heading on the tube or the train to come into work, between that 8 till 10, I would say, that period of time, post in between that time, because then someone going into work traveling on their phone on LinkedIn will suddenly see your thing, and most likely comment on it because they're just on the train, they have time. However, the second part of the answer is actually sometimes it doesn't even matter. I've tried both. I've tried posting at specific times. I've tried posting random times, super late evenings. Sometimes, like today, for example, my post normally goes out between around 2 or 3. It's not going to go out that time today, because I'm going to post a bit later on. It won't matter because the same people that I've built relationships with will still come back and comment and engage with your things. And also new people can find you too. The biggest answer to that question is engagement is the biggest thing. If you can get people to engage with your content, then you're more likely for other people for new people to come and see you. If nobody engages with your content, then their people can't see you. For example, if I post a video today, if I posted one today at 8 o'clock, and I go back onto the platform right now, and I saw like there's 10 comments over there. The people that left the comment, and this is like specifically for like Instagram or LinkedIn, the people that saw that comment, and it's like very tech, I know it's very intense and tech-based, but it's like the people that see your comment, on LinkedIn specifically, their network will come and see your comment. You commented on Sadiq's post. Who's Sadiq? They're going to click on my profile. But they found me just from your comment. You never told them about me, you never said anything. You're just building relationships, but your comment has found a new person to come and like explore who you are. And so, yeah, I hope that answered your question, because you can post at any time, but because I know what you said, the context you've given me, I would say specifically for you to try and do it within the day. Like post in the mornings and afternoons I would do. So I would probably post once or twice a day, specifically in the mornings and afternoons. So then your people that are at work, who are still on their phones or on the computer, on LinkedIn specifically, they will see your content. But I would say also test it out and like you said, post in the evening sometimes and see if it works. So it's more about not overthinking it and messy action, like I said. Try what works for you. Every single person's different. Well, our accounts are different as well. The algorithm shows us all different things, specific to what we share. So try it out and see how it goes.
Just a follow-up question on this is where people come and comment on your content. How about going the other way around?
Yep.
Related to, in this case, the law.
Yep.
Posting and also commenting on.
100%, you should do that too.
Help in terms
Yep.
of.
Yeah, so that's even more powerful because I forgot to mention that earlier. Groups are so powerful too. I know Facebook is dead, but the groups are not. There's still people so active in Facebook groups if you find the right group, right? The networking group or the type of industry you're in. But also on LinkedIn, having a group, like I said earlier, with just, let's say there's just 500 people in a group. You not selling, but you going into the group, commenting on other people's things, building those relationships. They will guarantee you they will come and like follow you and support you back. Because whatever you give always comes back to you. Remember that. Like if you don't provide value and comment and help others, why should they help you? Right? It's like that's just how the world of the internet works. You give to people first and be of service and add value to their life. They will come back and over time, it might not be straight away, but they're all watching you. They're all watching you and they're waiting for you to, when are they going to give up? When are they going to stop posting? You know, like they're just waiting for us to fail, but it's like, Sadiq, don't fail. We keep going. We're consistent. We take action. We don't give up. We're waiting for the 1, 2, 3, 5 clients that will come into our business and change our life. That's it.
So, because one very quick question over there that we must network.
Yeah, sorry, it's a very quick one. I'm a big fan of Simon Sinek,
Yeah.
who talks about the younger generations. And, you know, you started out at the top of this saying it brought you out and you became a competent person, you're clearly very competent. And I've enjoyed what you've said today.
Thank you.
But how many more of our younger people are not getting out into society, are living their lives on the TikTok, metaverse, universe?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you feel about that? Do you have any guidance? What are your feelings?
That's a really good, deep question, actually. And I have...
You wanted big answers, so you like
we should just do this privately, you know, because it's going to be like a deep answer now. No, I'm joking. If I just put it in a nutshell, I'm both excited and scared. Meaning, like, I love innovation, I love new tech, I love new things that are happening. I believe we can always, like, take advantage of new tech and how the advancements of life is just evolutionary and just innovative. Every single day we wake up into something new, there's new tech. I love it because it's like, it's exciting to learn something new every single day. I'm scared because of the younger generation now, where if they don't have boundaries, and this is why I'm just so big around boundaries, if they don't have boundaries, and especially the parents, if the parents don't have boundaries for their kids, how much they can use it, then they're in trouble. Because then, yes, they will be at home all day long. They will not go out and play football like Sadiq did when he was a little kid. They will not go and meet other kids and play in a nursery or go out to, you know, really have the human interaction. So that's why I'm scared, because I want, especially for the parents in the room, to really have boundaries around how long your kids are using these social media platforms. Because honestly, it is influencing them in a big way. So that's why it's scary, because they can find someone on there, love them, and like that's their biggest role model, and then want to be like them. But it could be bad for their mental health. It could be bad for their physical health. It could be bad. It can be bad in so many ways. But yeah, having that boundary for them is so important. But also, be excited about the innovation. Be excited about tech, because there are still a lot of there's a lot of advantages to having tech in our life. For example, you can post something. I could post something today, and even for example, this video, right? I can post this later this week, dude, and I don't know how many people on LinkedIn might find it and may come and say, "Hey, Sadiq, how do you sign up to this free club?" I know that's what you want, but honestly, that's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to be tagging you guys every single video. So I don't know how many people are going to come and sign up. I'm not promising anything, but what I'm saying is, what if one of those videos goes crazy and people come to me and say, "Hey, Sadiq, how do you be part of that club? Or how did you get to speak at that event?" You know, it's that curiosity. So I hope that answered your question.
Thank you very much, guys. Sadiq Hussain, that's